Who likes making natural products? Anyone made any natural products? Okay, great, everybody, good. I've got some experts here. So the first thing we're going to make is Herb Potpourri Sugar Scrub. Who likes using sugar scrubs on their body? Yeah, me. I love it. I love scrubbing in the shower. And sometimes what I do is I will actually do it before I get in the shower. And, you know, really, and I leave the shower running, and then I step in, and so the shower is nice and hot. And the essential oils and herbs, then I'm really like inhaling as you know, I rinse that off. So it really gives you a great aromatherapy charge, particularly if you do it early in the morning. So that's one of the fun things I like to do. So basically with this recipe, it's really easy. You can use white or brown sugar. We're using white today. We're going to use sweet almond oil and vegetable glycerin. And we're going to use chamomile, calendula, basil, and lavender or chamomile essential oil. Let me just see what we have here. Okay. So we can use lavender and or chamomile. We can even use both actually. And this will be a good introduction to blending because, and I'm going to pass these oils around. Blending's an interesting exercise with essential oils because each oil is going to be, it's going to have a different intensity. And each oil is either a top note, a middle note, or a base note, meaning if it's a top note, it tends to diffuse easily and dissipate quickly. It's very volatile and the smell doesn't hang around for long. If it's a middle note, it stays around a little longer. If it's a base note, it stays around a lot longer. And it's nice when you're blending to have all three, so you get a nice round formula that has a lingering effect. It's quite challenging sometimes, but also very fun, and there's no right or wrong. That's the beauty of it. If you make something that you don't like the smell of, you can just use it as a cleaning product, right? Clean the toilet, wipe out the sink, you know, put it in your bucket when you're washing the floor. So there's no right or wrong. Of course, essential oils are expensive, so it's important to make small quantities first. And I usually like to blend on these perfume testing strips first. And we do what's called a wand, and you can smell it, and then you start to adjust. But the interesting thing about using these two oils you're going to experience is that for like 5 drops of lavender, you need like half a drop of chamomile. Chamomile is really intense and it will completely dominate a blend. So that's important to be aware of. So what we're going to do first, we actually are using whole dried herbs, and that just makes it an even more therapeutic experience. We are going to measure our herbs and we're going to grind them. Now here's the beauty of these bags. You don't have to cut them. You're just going to open the, well, yes, we are. See, they're a good seal. So they've got one of these, you know, ziplocky type seals. So they make it really nice for storage. So we're going to do 2 tablespoons, and I've got dried lavender flowers here. And one of the things about lavender that I want you to notice is, in fact, with all herbs, you should always look at the Latin name. Anyone think why? Why are we going to look at the Latin name? Yeah. Because even with a particular herb, there may be more than one type. Mm-hmm. And they have different constituents. Absolutely, absolutely. So, you know, a lot of common names are just, they're just that. They're what people will commonly call something that kind of looks like something else. In the lavender kingdom, there are many different types of lavender. And the one we want is the one that has a certain ingredient called lineal acetate. And it's an ester that's a wonderful soothing anti-inflammatory. Other types of lavender don't have it. In fact, they're stimulants. They have camphor, which is stimulating. What we want is the Lavandula angustifolia, which is a sedative. So, although if you're going to use this in the morning, maybe you could use lavender, right? Because maybe you want to be stimulated. One of my favorite things I've been doing recently, because I'm really busy, is I just take my essential oil in the morning, and I usually use rosemary. I'm just in love with rosemary at the moment. I usually take rosemary, and I pour some base oil in my hand, and then I pour the essential oil in, and then I just completely coat my body before I step in the shower with oil and essential oil. And it's just so wonderful. And then when you step out of the shower, your body is hydrated because, you know, you haven't really rinsed off all the oil, and you've had that aromatherapeutic experience of the rosemary just really waking you up. So you might want to try that. It's just, I mean, it's so quick and easy. It's what I love about it. And I swear it's why I haven't got the flu this year, because I've been basically dousing myself with essential oils every morning. So we're going to use chamomile, and this is Matricaria recutita. Now, of course, chamomile, oh, that smells so good. I'm going to pass these around, actually, so you can look at them and get familiar with them. They've changed the Latin name of chamomile. You know, nomenclature, it's tricky. Latin names. Anyone learn Latin at school? Okay, great. Yeah, me too. And like, at the time, you're thinking, what am I learning this for? It's very useful, however, if you're studying herbal medicine or botany, and of course in other regards too. You know, many of our words are derived from Latin, but nomenclature is interesting, and they are changing it all the time for whatever reason. Chamomile is one they've changed significantly, so it's a challenging Latin name. This is Calendula officinalis, that lovely yellow flower, and it's the flower we use. And you'll notice it's the flower we've used of lavender and chamomile and calendula. So it is important which part of the herb you use. You don't always use the whole herb. For example, you wouldn't dig it up and use the root, the leaf, and the flower. So usually in a herb, one part of the plant is going to be more therapeutic than the others, or they're going to be different, and you need to know which part to use depending on what you're trying to achieve. And then this is basil. Oh, that smells so good. So what I've done is 2 tablespoons of each, and we're actually going to grind this. Anybody ever used a mortar and pestle? Okay, great. Anybody not? Anybody want to try it? It's easy.